welcome to Internet Piracy Part 1. Many of you are probably either students of the class or most likely the teacher of the class, or maybe you just happen to find this by happen chance. Either way, I hope you enjoy, and we'll be breaking down this discussion into three parts. The first part, which will be today, will be history, as you see on the screen. The next part, which is in the middle picture, is dealing with the cost of piracy. And then the last picture and the last part we'll be talking about is the future of piracy prevention through such things as DRM and other methods as well. So we'll get started here, and I hope you enjoy.
Before we go any further, it is first necessary to understand what piracy is. Webster's dictionary defines piracy as an act of robbery on the high seas. This definition invokes romantic imagery involving some of the more famous pirates such as Blackbeard or the more recent Jack Sparrow. To many, this type of imagery may seem immature or irrelevant when considering modern internet piracy. However, piracy has changed very little over the years. Just the mode has changed. Instead of a boat, we now have a computer. Instead of the high seas, we now have the internet. And instead of stealing gold, we now steal software. In fact, in recent years, more traditional piracy has trumpeted internet piracy for the world's attention. For example, in spring 2009, while pirates off the coast of Somalia were getting all the high seas attention, 4 Swedish pirates of a totally different sort were being sentenced to pay more than $3 million in fines and serve a year in the brig. Their crime? Running the Pirate Bay, one of the web's most visited file-sharing communities. The Pirate Bay is a part of the trend of peer-to-peer technologies used to illegally swap music, videos, and applications. Public sites such as Pirate Bay, IsoHunt, and Mininova index and track BitTorrent files, which allow computers to connect and download content. People go to these sites to search for and grab illegal music and videos. However, these websites were not the first of their kind, and in fact there's been a long lineage of illegal file-sharing websites. The first and most infamous is Napster. Napster was the first P2P file-sharing network of its kind. In October of 2000, it has been reported that Napster had over 32 million users, and it was estimated that there were about 800,000 people using it at any one time. At the same time, site membership was also growing at a rate of 1 million users per week. In its initial years, Napster was not illegal. This was mainly because the concept of Napster was so original and so new that laws had not yet been created to say that it was violating copyright. Consequently, many people who would otherwise avoid illegal actions took part in Napster because it wasn't yet illegal. This rather large group of people got used to the idea of being able to download whatever music they wanted to, whenever they wanted to. Thus, these people got a taste of what it felt like to get something for free. On December 8, 1999, the RIAA announced it was suing Napster for violating copyright laws. This was the first P2P technology case. This case would set the example for future cases. The RIAA could not accuse Napster of direct infringement. This was because the program did not actually make copies of the songs. Instead, Napster was charged with contributory and vicarious copyright infringement. In other words, Napster was making it possible for others to violate copyright. This case marked the beginning of the end for Napster. The judge ruled in favor of the RIAA, and Napster was ordered to shut down. However, the damage had already been done. With Napster being shut down, people already had a thirst and a taste for obtaining free music. Thus, they sought after different websites to quench their thirst. Currently, internet piracy has reached an almost epidemic level. The MPD reports that in 2009, only 37% of music acquired by U.S. consumers was actually paid for. According to the Information Technology and Innovation Foundation, the digital theft of music, movies, and copyrighted content takes up huge amounts of internet bandwidth. Overall, internet piracy accounts for 17.5% of the U.S. bandwidth and 27% of the global bandwidth. In the next session, we will look deeper into these statistics and find out what the true cost of internet piracy is.
I hope you've enjoyed this brief history of internet piracy and invite you to join me in the next session where we discuss its economic impact.